Hey guys, Jones here, Custom Kids Cars, and today's video is cleaning the shifter switches in a Generation 2 Perego Gator. Probably the most or second most highly produced Power Wheels ever made, besides maybe Power Wheels Jeep Wrangler. Okay, so customer dropped this off, and here's the symptoms. It only goes in reverse, so there's no forward low and forward high. Guaranteed good battery, it's 13 volts. And the other thing that is key is do both wheels spin. So you hold it in reverse, press the pedal, both wheels spin. Now if only one wheel spun, it could have been a bad motor or a loose wire at the motor, and that would have been an even easier fix. So what we're going to do today is go over complete disassembly, because we need to get to the shifter, which is the little red knob here in the middle. So we have to remove the seat and the shifter mechanism. Now I mentioned that this is for the Generation 2. If you guys have the newer Gator or the Gator XUV, it will not work. If it has the blue coupler here that goes to the shifter mechanism, this won't work for you. It does not have double pull, double throw shifter switches in there. So it's going to look like this. So it's going to be this, I don't know, orangish red color. And you can see it's got two double pull, double throw switches in there. Basically, we need to get access to this so that we can pull them out, and we're going to clean the contacts in there. So let's get started. Okay, so to do this disassembly, basically you're just going to need a Phillips screwdriver and your hands, but we're going to use power tools to remove the seat bolts. Okay, so once you have the seat removed, you take your Phillips screwdriver and you're going to remove the two screws at the front of the shifter. Okay, so now this is where I'm going to bring in the camera so you can kind of see what's next. Okay, so now that you took out those two screws, you're just going to separate the shifter. This is what it's going to look like. Now, it's a little bit tricky, but you've got to spin this, and it would really help if you guys took pictures of this. So it's going to be oriented just like this, with the orange shifter in the front and the black on the back. On this one. But you need to get it so that the shifter kind of comes out like that. And this already fell out, but I'm going to put it back in. So once you've gotten access to this pivot pin, you're going to take a small little screwdriver. And typically there's tape over this, but this tape is worn out. Maybe somebody else tried working on it. But you're going to pop both those pins and put those in a location where you're not going to lose them. But pop out those pins, and then this will separate. So please just recall which way this goes. So the spring and this little mechanism are going to go towards the front. It can get kind of confusing which way it goes, and you don't want to be doing that backwards. So, because we're going to just basically put this together the opposite way. So, I'm just going to set this just like that. And this is the forward reverse switch. So I'm thinking it's the high-low switch here. And here is a test that you can do with a voltmeter. We're going to test which one of these switches has resistance. Okay, so I've got a voltmeter here, and basically This is going to test resistance. I've outfitted this with alligator clips instead of the probes. So what you're going to do is power comes in and out of the center ones. So we're going to put it on there and we're going to test both sides. So there's no resistance there, but when we put it over here, if we flip it, there's no resistance. We're going to check it over here. Should be resistance, but none. So that's telling me right here, let's see, there's no resistance on that one. So let's come over to this one. No resistance. So over here, there's no resistance, if you guys can see that okay. But in this position right here, that should be a closed circuit. No matter what I do, it's not working. So let's come over here and check this side. See how that one in its resting position, there's no resistance. You guys can see that. So I know exactly that it's this orange switch and it's going to be on this side. Let's check this side. So it's literally one little contactor in here isn't clean. So all we're going to do is we are going to take our little screwdriver and we are going to pop this out. Now I guess you can screw that up, but just note which way that you took that off. This video should give you some view of that. So to get this switch out, you're going to need to push pressure on this and pry, and that gets one side past the little keepers. And then hopefully this is showing up good enough. It's very hard to film, but basically look at it. It's held in there by a little spring clip type of doodads. So basically you just got to get the switch out. Now also note which way this is oriented. If you can see that, there's a little cross. The cross is towards the center. Take a picture of this, because when you put it back in, it's not going to fit. Okay, so once you've got the switch out, this is a spring-loaded one. You've got to take your screwdriver and you're going to pop this little lid off. Okay, now there's going to be springs in here, so don't lose them. So you pop that off, and there's the springs. And this will need to go the correct way too. So the springs go on the same side as the cross. The cross goes to the center. Okay, so basically this switch right here is a tricky one to clean because the parts don't fall out. Most of the time the contactors, they can come out. So you're gonna have to take your screwdriver and basically scrape them clean, because these are pressed in there after the center doodads, contactors that is. So typically what I usually take when I never know what switch this is going to be. The old school switches don't have this. So I'm going to do what I can, put it back together, but I'm going to grab some electric contact cleaner, because it's probably just a little bit of soot from arcing. All right, so here's what we're going to use. We're going to use this QD electronic cleaner, and we're going to spray that on the contacts, and hopefully that clears out any of the debris that was preventing it to close the circuit. So note that you're going to need the cross to the inside, the springs to the inside. Put it back together by just pressing it and wiggling it at the same time. And the switch is back together. So hey, let's test it with the continuity tester and see if that fixed it. So as you can see in all the positions, hopefully that shows up, that depending on which way that the switch is going, it closes its circuit. So time to put it all back together. Remember, cross goes towards the center. Put this guy back in. Pins back in. And these pins are definitely something you're going to want to put tape back over. So once those are in, I'm going to go grab some packaging tape and put that over there. Okay, so here we're going to take our packaging tape and we're going to put it over those pins. To keep these guys from coming out. Okay, we're going to plug this back in and give it a test and see if it works in high and low now. So put the shifter all the way back. There's high, put it in the middle. There's low, and hopefully reverse still works. And there's reverse. So now that we know that it was a simple switch cleaning thing, you're going to get your shifter. Might be easier just to unplug this again now that we know that that all works. And then you're going to have to rotate your shifter, get that back down over it, and this is probably the most difficult part, to be 100% honest. So, apologize if this is getting out of frame. Okay, so that is back to where it needs to go. I know that this is the front. So, plug her back in. Slide this back piece underneath this back groove here, and the rest will fall into place, and retighten it. And there we go, guys. All three gears work. We're just going to put the seat back on and call this job a wrap and call the customer so her grandson can enjoy it. Mosquitoes are coming. So I don't think you guys need to see me put the seat back on, so I'm going to call this video a wrap. So if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, because we're going to be doing many more Power Wheels videos. And yes, we still are going to do our mini wedge racing videos. So again, this is Jonesy at Custom Kids Cars, and thanks for watching.